Hello guys, Massector here and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Redstone Academy. Today we're gonna take a look on the dreaded comparator. For some people, it's pretty simple. For others, it's pretty complex. So let's get going. First of all, you crafted by this way: 3 redstone torches, a piece of quartz dust, and 3 stones down there. Yeah, so it has 2 functionalities. Yeah, first of all, this one is like it's a 3 functionality thing, but we're gonna count it as 1. First of all, first functionality, this will give, if I put this lever, it will give a redstone output of 10 that way. So right in here, this number's 10. It completes the signal, so it carries it on 10. If I would have one right in here, it would be 10, so on. Oh, because I left 2 blocks. Now it's 10. So it carries the signal that's behind it. Let's call this A, this B, and this C. It carries the signal from A, that's for sure, if in any mode. If it's either in comparing mode or subtract mode, it will carry the redstone signal from A and take it to B, just in the as it was, the same strength, 10, but it gives a one tick delay. Okay, so now let's talk about the comparator, the comparison side of things. So if we pull a 10 and then we pull, let's say, an 11, nothing will go out. Okay, but if we pull a 10 or less than 10, you're gonna see that the output is 10. So in comparison mode, if B greater than A, then C equals 0. Remember, A, B, C. If B greater than A, like, no, like this, then C equals 0. But if B less than or equals to A, C equals A. Okay? Let's recap. If B greater than A, then C equals 0, is off. But if B is less than or equals to A, then C equals A. Okay, so that's the comparison mode. Now let's go into the subtraction mode. It subtracts, like 10 minus, let's see, 10 it equals 0, and 10 minus 11 also equals 0, but because we don't have negative numbers, so yeah. But if 10 minus, let's say, 6, the result will be 4. As simple as that. So subtraction mode is if B greater than or equal to A, then C is 0. See? Okay, so this is now what? 10. If it's 14, it's 0. If it's 10, it's also 0. But if B is less than A, then C equals A minus B. 10 minus 6 equals 4. So that's the first attribute of the comparator. Remember, it has a 1 tick delay. Okay, now using this thing you can make a pretty quick clock. A clock is a redstone circuit that fires on and off like this. The comparator on subtract mode, you'll see me, I have in my redstone testing, I have a couple of ones with these. They're really beneficial. Comparator with subtract mode on, you take an output from C and get it back into B, and you have the main input from A. and then you go from the comparator 3 redstone dust, 3 redstone wires, then you take your output just like this. This happens why? Because when you take this, when you make it on, this will be 15, then 14, then 13, then goes back. It makes this 2 minus 1 0 goes back, yeah, just like that, and turns on and on and on and on off, on off, on off, on off. That's why you're gonna have to get a little bit away so that this happens. If we slow it down, you're gonna you can't slow it down because it will lag then. Okay, now the third attribute of the comparator is measuring how much stuff are in things. And these things are the dispenser, the dropper, the trap chest, the hopper, the furnace, the jukebox, the shulker box, the cake, the item frame, the command block but doesn't work. It says in the wiki it works but doesn't really work. The importer frame, the cauldron, the minecart with chest and minecart with hopper, if they're placed over a detector rail, and a brewing stand. Well, see, everyone has different storage, so anything this not, yeah, this also, this and these two and this one, because they have an inventory, it will calculate how much of that inventory is by this equation. The equation that comparator uses to calculate the redstone output from the inventory of something is the number of items divided by max slot capacity divided by number of slots that block has, multiply that number that you got by 14, then add 1 to it. Yeah, and for every non-stackable item, count it as 64 normal items, and for every 16 stackable items like eggs or snowballs, this like armor or sword, count everyone as 4 normal items. So let's test it out with this chest. So the output is 1, 2, 3, 4. So right in here it is 64 times, as we said, 16 count as 1 4, so it's 64. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 16 times 8, that's the number of things we have, divided by max slot capacity, it's 64 for the chest, divided by 27, because 9 times 3 equals 27. That number multiplied by 14, then add 1 to it, and we will have 5.1. Just take the number before the dot and you'll be okay. So this is 5, then this equation is right. So that is for the things that have inventories. What about things that don't have inventories, like a jukebox? The jukebox will give a different output for depending on what song is being played. So this one is 1 2 3 4 5. I'm going to show you a picture right now of the table of contents. This one is 1 2 3 4 5 6. This one is 1 2 3 4. Yeah, see, everyone has a different number. For the cake, it depends on how much it has been eaten. Yeah, and in its full state, it gives 14, not 15. So the comparator takes from the item frame how the item inside there is being rotated. So now we are in spot number 1. This 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this one is 1 again. And from the command block, it says, from what I understood, the amount of successful commands, but I tried it, didn't really work. So you figured it out, please tell me in the comments down below. And the end portal frame, it will take a signal depending on So the input frame, it will give a signal depending on whether it has an IO vendor in it or not. It will give an output of 15. The cauldron will give an output depending on its fullness. So if we get a new cauldron, this one, this two, this three. Yeah, a bucket gives full 3. Yeah, these 3 also work like the inventory things, so it's a no problem. But to here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna end this episode. If you enjoyed, please hit that like, favorite, and subscribe. I'm gonna help you out so very much. Comment down below, I think, whether relevant or irrelevant might be. I'm gonna see you in another episode of Minecraft Redstone Academy.